Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. As you can see in front of you today, we have a new brand on the channel. This is actually from Mauer Watches. This is their Chronograph, which is actually a really interesting design. I found it, quite interesting, so I figured I'd take a look at it with you guys. Just a very interesting case design, as you can see, with those double-stepped lugs. There are two different variations of this model, and there also is a discount code I was supplied with, so you can save some money on this watch. You can save 20% on this watch using the code WatchAddict20. So definitely take advantage of that. I don't know how long it's going to last, but you can save a lot of money on this watch. They do ship direct from Miami, even though the owner is based in South America, in Uruguay, which is actually a pretty interesting country. I've been there a couple times myself and found it quite interesting. Chatted back and forth with him. Very interesting character. And he also, had a lot of experience in selling pre-owned vintage watches like Rolexes and such before, going on this adventure with Mauer watches. But yeah, there are two different variations. This is the DLC coded one. There also is a kind of silver sandblasting one. This one has sandblasting as well, just in a black coating, which is very nice. Has a nice set of specifications. It's a pretty trusty and reliable watch. First, let's see what's on my wrist, and we'll dig a little deeper. On my wrist today, I am wearing the Excelsior Park. This was a watch I recently reviewed. Really nice. I actually threw on this suede band. This was a revived brand from a brand that existed, back in late 1800s, and it was actually, kind of emerged again a couple of years ago, which is pretty cool. But you can see the full review of this one if you look back in my video log. Now, the Mauer watch will come in this kind of pleatherette box here, which is actually pretty nice with some white stitching here, as you can see. And you kind of just open it up here and you get your watch, and you will also get your warranty card in there as well. But yeah, definitely keeps the watch nicely protected. Now let's get into some basic dimensions. We're looking at a 44mm case. That's what I measured with my calipers. Case thickness, we're looking at 12mm, which is actually really thin for a chronograph. Lug to lug, you're looking at 52mm. And in between the lugs, you're looking at 24mm. We kind of have that, bit broader of a case, so I think 24 suits this case perfectly fine. But yeah, getting a little closer in on this dial here. We have a black dial on this model, as you can see, with 3 sub-dials. We get your date down there at the 4 o'clock position, and it does state Swiss movement, as you can see, which is printed above the 6. We get your 60-minute chronograph countdown over here. We get your running seconds over here, and then we do get your 1/10 of a second over here, which is actually pretty cool. When I start the chronograph, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, inside of this watch is a really trusty, reliable, good Swiss, quartz chronograph movement. It's the 3540D. Most of you guys are pretty familiar with Ronda Swiss, calibers. This one does have a 54-month battery life. It actually has 5 jewels inside here, which is pretty cool. And these movements are not cheap. They're about the same price as a Miyota 9015, so keep that in mind. They're very trusty, reliable, they're Swiss made, and they're going to last you a very long time. Now, the watch itself is 50 meters water resistant. We get a signed Mauer pull and push crown. You do get your chronograph pushers over there, kind of recessed in, kind of protected by those kind of cutouts here, as you can see there at the 2 and the 6 o'clock position. We kind of get this nice double-stepped lug, which I thought was quite interesting. I haven't seen before. And these little bolts on top, one on each corner, which is pretty interesting. I really haven't seen this kind of design before. Simple, clean, very legible, easy to read, nice broad rectangular style hands. And you can see there we do get a nice pointed kind of orange chronograph hand, as well as the chronograph countdown for 60 minutes. And we do get Mauer printed over there, as you can see. If I pull the crown out to the final position to change the time, you can see Mauer chronograph, and then that matches, this color matches this color and this color. So I think that's pretty cool. Chaptering, you get 0 through 60 for fine minute minutes, and you get your date over here in white. Now, how to actually function this movement, very simple, guys. Start the chronograph, nice actuation of that pusher. You see the 1/10 of a second sweeping there, which is pretty cool. I always like that. Then the chronograph hand will go there, can run up to 60 minutes. As you can see, everything lines up very nicely to all the markers. I like that nice little detail. Not even big brands like Tissot can make that happen sometimes. So I thought that was a nice little detail. As you can see, we do get a nice sapphire crystal here, making it very legible, easy to read, and anti-reflective as well. But yeah, stop the chronograph, and then you can just reset, and it flies right back. There also is, you can also time things, if you want to split time things, which is pretty cool with this movement. So as you can see, you can stop it with the bottom one, and you can wait and see the elapsed time, which I think is really a good feature. Then it'll start again where it was. I think that's pretty cool. Stop and then reset. Now, very easy to function as well. The quick set date, as you can see here, second position, pull out, everything functions great. And the final position is your time set, which is a nice little resistance there as well, so it's easy to get a fine tune. Push that back in and you're all ready to go. Now the finishing on the actual case is actually very smooth, a nice sandblasted black finish, which I actually do really like. As you can see, very smooth, kind of curves over this case, so it kind of sits on your wrist pretty, kind of curves to your wrist, I would say. But yeah, very smooth, no sharp edges or anything like that. And it comes on this really nice genuine leather band with a custom Mauer butterfly clasp, you can see here. And it's not a cheap one, it's a very nice one. It's sturdy, it doesn't make any noise, and it doesn't jiggly or jangle when you shake it. And you can just quick adjust that with a little button here, which is very nice. As you can see, yeah, nice click, solid. Very solid, not going to go anywhere. Then you get two safety keepers here as well. Basically broken in straight out of the box already, this band, so no need to break it in. If we take a look at the case back, as you can see here, we do have the M logo for Mauer, waterproof 50 meters. We get a sandblasted case back, but without the black coating, which I think is a nice little touch there. And of course, this does have quick release. So if you want to change the band to any other band, you can do that very easily with the quick release bars. But yeah, there also is a nice amount of lume on this watch for a chronograph with Super Luminova, which glows green, which I think is pretty nice. The lume's not too bad for a chronograph. And let's take a look at it. Now, fully loomed up with the torch, as you can see, the lume is actually really, really good. It glows green on the hands, all the markers, and I think it just looks really, really legible at night, as you can see there. Those hands definitely do glow pretty bright, and for a chronograph, it's very good lume, I must say. Most chronographs don't have such great lume, but this one has some pretty good lume. Now, I don't have a large wrist by any means. My wrist is 6.5 inches, 6.75 when it swells. And the watch does fit my wrist just fine, I must say. I was quite surprised by that. But yeah, fits very nice. And the band itself is pretty supple, comfortable. It's very soft, almost suede feeling. Feels very nice on the wrist there. As you can see, very legible. You know, quickly, you can definitely read the time on this watch at a glance. It's a good everyday chronograph, I must say. As you can see, it kind of rides flat on the wrist there with those nice double-step lugs you can see there. Helps it really kind of ride flat on the wrist. And from a side profile, actually very, very thin. But yeah, on the wrist, very nice, legible, easy to read, and also easy to push these buttons when you want to start and stop and reset the chronograph. But overall, just a very kind of utilitarian tool. I would call it kind of, you know, an everyday watch. Obviously, you can dress it up or dress it down. I like the stock band on it. I think it's good. You're not going to need to change the band on it. The design is definitely very different, the actual case itself. I found that to be quite interesting. I've never seen this kind of design here before. But yeah, they design all of their own watches. They actually are going to be doing a soft Kickstarter launch, but these are for sale right now. You can go to their website, use the code WatchAddict20 and save 20%. They will be, I believe they will be launching a Kickstarter, so take a look in the future in the coming weeks. They did a run of these watches and they're going to be launching on Kickstarter as well. Yeah, just a really cool brand, a really cool owner, very nice guy, very helpful. And yeah, overall I think it's a pretty interesting timepiece with a great Swiss movement. And you know, sapphire crystal, you're getting everything you want in an everyday chronograph that's going to be functional. It's not going to break down on you, and no worry about service or anything like that. You know, if you have a mechanical chronograph, obviously, this is going to last you a lifetime. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this watch down in the comment section below. As usual, I'll drop a link to their website. They have some other watches as well. Definitely check them out. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video, share it with your friends, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.